Okay, now I got the control panel off, so I'm gonna simulate the press going on impression, and I'm gonna do that by, so here's a solenoid down here. It's just to the left of the counter box that's under the feed board. So when this solenoid gets energized, pulls that shaft down, and it moves the lever up there. So I'm gonna simulate, I'm just gonna hook a rubber band on that. And now I'm going to turn this hand wheel clockwise, and you'll see that this shaft pulls this lever down, and what's going to happen is this linkage here that's shaped like a Y, and this linkage here that's shaped like a Y, those are going to turn into a letter T. So I'm going to turn the press over real slow, and when the cam comes around in the right spot, it'll move a cam follower. So there's the one blanket to impression change. Now if we go a little further, I'm turning the press, Now that one's up. Okay, so now the press is on impression. Plate the blanketer together and blanket to impression cylinder. So at that point right there, if we look, it's kind of hard to see, but if we look at this gap right here, this is the block and this is the arm that goes up and changes into a T. So there should be just a tiny gap in between there. When I say tiny gap, maybe 20, 30 thousandths. Now, when I'm taking this back off impression, I'm going to continue to turn. And if you watch right here, we're going to see what the gap there looks like. A little brighter. We bring this down real slow. Okay, so there it's coming down. And this one is actually set where it should be. There's just a little tiny gap there. So what happens, presses get a lot of wear on them, and that arm gets pushed down, but not down far enough. So what we're going to do is we're going to adjust this right here. This is an eccentric, because this cam goes around, tells this cam follower how far to push all these linkages to go on and off impression. So we're going to move that bolt, is what we're going to do. If I can find this here. So what we want to make sure of is that this follower is on the high point of the cam. I can see the high point of the cam there. It's kind of hard to see because of the lighting. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen. I'm going to hold this outside nut. I'm going to loosen the inside nut. It's a lock nut. And then you have to make sure that this is on impression. Make sure that part is down. Now if I turn this bolt, this eccentric, let me bring it back a little bit. Okay, so right there I've simulated a problem that most people are gonna have. You can actually see a gap in there, which is what most people have. So I'm gonna loosen the lock nut. I'm gonna start to turn this. And as I turn this, you'll see that gap get closed up. Here, it moved a little more, keep moving. And I wanna just keep turning this until that gap is small, but 20 thousandths, which is right there. You don't want it to hit the pin. If you have it go down and hit the pin, you're likely to break something. Now I'm gonna lock this back down. That's actually called the offside stopper. It's called a stopper pin. There's an onside stoppers on the top side that you can't see because it's behind that mechanism. So if I take the rubber band off, just go through the motions. Let me bring this back a little bit here. I'm going to put it back on impression. Watch this arm go up. It's up. Okay, that's on impression. Now I'm going to let go. Now when it comes back down, we're looking at that gap again. Boom, there you go. Got any questions about that? Give us a call here at Ryobi Press Parts.